Who y'all recruiting nation? Welcome to episode 21 of Uncharted Waters with the one, the only, the architect of success, the people's champ, Admiral James Waters. Today we have two incredible guests. Our first guest is spectacular in this career recruiting force. After 31 years of naval service, the favorite son of Baltimore, your favorite chief recruiter's chief recruiter, Master Chief Jermaine Brown. Our second guest is a new shark in these recruiting waters. He's been vicious in achieving mission in his 24 months in recruiting. Aviation boatsman mate handler, first class, Reymond, Rallos. Gentlemen, welcome.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. And I really appreciate the introductions.
Oh, wow.
It highlights ahead of time like why we have these two with us. I mean, it's going to be just a great conversation. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Master Chief, to start off with you, can you give us a quick synopsis about your career and who you are?
Oh, wow. Well, again, Chief, thank you for that great introduction, obviously. You did your research, man. Wasn't expecting that. Again, Master Chief Jermaine Brown, originally from Baltimore, Maryland. Been in the Navy, like you said, 31 years. Been a great career so far. Had some ups and downs, but, most of all, pretty great. First two commands were CG and a pre-com to DDG. So that was my first two sea tours. And then came back to Baltimore. I was a great boatswain mate. Thought I was going to finish my career as a boatswain mate, but I was a good recruiter too. So I ended up switching over to CRF, and 25 years later, go from E5 to Master Chief. So
yeah, wow,
great career.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate
Love
it, sir. Yeah.
Love it. So Chief Scott actually gave me a fun fact about you, Master Chief. You can only call Master Chief JB if he make mission. So that's the only way you can call him JB. Who y'all? What about you, Petty Officer Rallos?
Good afternoon, Chief. My name is Abh Ros. I've been in the Navy for 15 years. I've been last duty station I was stationed at USS Kearsarge, and then here I'm here to Golden Grade now.
Golden Grade, I like that.
Golden Grade right here. And last year I took over as the rank last fiscal year October, and for me it's been a ride. A lot of great experiences. Like you learn a lot. From obviously recruiting now the leading recruiters. It has been a great ride.
I love it. So Master Chief, what are some recruiting principles that you live by?
It's a few, man. I'll tell you, I think team building is my number one. Team building, training, accountability, trust. Not in any particular order, but I think those the four principles that's made me successful, in this long journey of recruiting. So.
Yeah, I think your comment there, the first one, team building, is really important to kind of sort of wrap our hands around. Is this idea that in a career that a lot of people see as very individualistic, right? I'm just alone and unafraid. I got my cell phone, my laptop, and my car, and it's me against the world. But the first thing you say is teamwork, right? I think that's super important for recruiters to know, that successful recruiters recognize you can't do it alone, right? It's just too hard, right? You got to get told no too many times to get to yes, to be alone, right? Mm-hmm. That sense of team and supporting each other, right?
Yes,
that's
sir.
really, really great.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. Yeah, I think that just like you said, sir, this is a tough business and it's hard in itself. But even if you're taking time for yourself and you're taking leave and stuff like that with this job, sometimes you're afraid to do that. But when you have that team and you have that sense of family, then you can go ahead and do those things, and the team's gonna pick you up and handle all those things, and everything will just turn out fine.
Yeah.
So.
I imagine as you've taken over as a rank, you've seen even more of that, and that I'd be interested in your thoughts on how you've applied teamwork in your station, because your story is really super interesting, that you were a recruiter in that station and then fleeted up within the same station to be the rank. So here you are, the folks, and now it's how do you generate success out of that with teamwork?
For me, sir, I feel like how we generated success out of that office. I mean, you knew your recruiter's strengths and weaknesses. So for you to like, when you want to work with a certain recruiter, I mean, you got to approach them in a certain way, and you already know what they may don't like, what they may like. But I guess it's like the biggest thing for me was like, we help each other out, like exploit our strengths, and then I already know that this person may be a little weak on the phone power, and there's something that we could probably talk about and train more. But I'm not gonna constantly keep forcing this person to do phone power because we still gotta make up activities. So probably we're gonna go out there first and get our activities, and then after that you can come back and train on the phone power now, because we have made up our activities. Now if you've made up time for yourself, now you got other things that you can do now and get better at.
Yeah.
And it's just we just try to help each other out with in our team.
Yeah, help each other out. That's
Yes,
the
sir.
teamwork thing. That's really great. I love it.
So identify the issues and train the deficiencies.
Yes, sir.
Who
Yes,
ya?
Chief.
So, Mass Chief, in the career recruitment force, everybody knows your name. How have you consistently stayed successful?
Again, I think it's just building that team, building that trust, taking care of sailors, taking care of people. This is one of those jobs that it's tough to kind of wake up and just deal with the grind every day, and it's an everyday grind. But you have to understand that and put yourself in those shoes as well. And as long as you understand the people and they know that you're in the grind with them, being a match chief, being a CR, I'm still a recruiter.
Who ya?
So I'm going to do everything that I can in my day to make sure that they're successful and they're able to get the job done as well as get their people in the Navy, and they know I got their back. So
Yeah, that's key. That the sailor, the recruiter knows that you have their back.
Yes, sir.
And that's true at all levels of the chain of command. The other thing I really like is that you've been able to keep your Baltimore accent all these years. When I first talked to you, I was like, wow. My wife is from Maryland.
Okay.
So I kind of was like, whoa, that's a flashback.
Yes, sir.
To
Right.
some of those early days.
Yeah, you from the Academy grad, sir?
I am.
Yes, sir. So you've been around.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I love it. So, Petty Officer, in your short time of recruiting, you've been very successful here. What advice can you give to a young recruiter out across the enterprise that might be having a tough time? Like, what has made you successful that you could pass down?
For me, Chief, with that, I would say keep the positive attitude, Chief.
Yeah.
It's with Master, like I said, recruiting is a really tough business to be at, right? But not everybody's gonna have a great day. But as long as you keep that positive attitude, because you'll never know what the sailor's gonna need you for.
Yeah.
You're gonna be there behind that sailor's back. Hey man, look, we'll figure it out. Like what probably could possibly be it was wrong for the day, right? And then how can we move on forward for this? I gotta remember we still have the mission to make, right?
Absolutely.
So we still gotta take care of business, but that positive attitude, like just always have that with you. Like
I love it.
Yeah, that is really, really great. And I think the other thing that's behind all that is we're selling a really good product, right? And I use that's really a euphemism or an analogy. We're not selling a product, we're providing opportunity, but it's a great opportunity,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
And really believing that even though there are hard days in any of our jobs, we can go back in our history and see that there were hard days.
Yeah.
But every one of us is in a different place, in a better place than we would have been had it not been for the United States Navy.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And those recruiters having that belief and understanding that when they're talking to those young people, you're offering them an opportunity as compared to the recruiter for Starbucks or the recruiter for you name the fast food place that are offering some of the same benefits, some similar benefits, right?
Yes.
But they're not offering, the bond that we are offering, the career, the opportunities, that belief.
Yeah.
I think
Yes,
is
sir.
super important, right? I love that.
Yeah.
Sir.
So, Master Chief, we've had recently some game-changing initiatives. Can you possibly speak to one that has impacted NTAG Golden Gate significantly?
Well, I'll tell you, coming here to Golden Gate a couple of years ago, just trying to diagnose, how can we make this team better going forward. We were starting to make gains, obviously just with, internal processes and things like that. But I think the number one game changer that I've seen in my, X amount of years of recruiting is the Cat Force. And not just down to the 24. That was a little bit of game changing, but to take it down to a 10 QT was really game changing, because at the end of the day, the world has changed, America's changed, everything's changed. You know what I mean? So again, like the Admiral said, opportunity is everything. It's not like we're putting in people that don't qualify. These people actually qualify to be able to do a skill and do a job, and they want to serve their country. So I think that was the number one game changer that I've ever seen, is to give a little bit more opportunity and hope to people that wouldn't have ordinarily, maybe, to serve,
Yeah.
but to give them that opportunity.
Yeah, and it's super important to highlight, as you did, that every one of those sailors qualified for a rate, right, based on the line scores from the broader ASVAB.
Yes, sir.
That the AFQT, which is the part of the test we're talking about, is like an SAT, and there are lots of us out there that some folks that's easier, and some folks that's just hard.
Right.
But the rest of the ASVAB is testing a lot of other skills that you need for those other rates, and that's important, that the Navy continue to hire people that were qualified for the skills that we were
Yes, sir.
bringing them in to do.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Agree.
ABH1, can you speak about some recent successes that you've had, and what kind of led to that success?
For me, one of the most recent, Chief, is for the recognition of my sailor, Chief. I did have a sailor that got recognized for the NSO Talent Scout of the Quarter, and he also got recognized for the new Talent Scout of the Quarter.
Wow.
Along with that, he did receive some 2 NAMs as well.
Okay.
At one point, we did have a great team before, Master Chief was saying, that we had a really great team in Concord when I took over as rank. One of our key member, Q1 Cadet, she moved over to American Cannon as a rank, and
Okay.
she's out there too, flourishing right now.
Great trainer then, great trainer.
And then with that, and when a key member left, I was a little bit worried that we started really great, and I do not know where it's gonna lead us after that. But me and LS1 Ventura, we came through for the office for quite a certain amount of time, and and then that led to my sailor, because I could see that he's working really, really hard, getting all these wickets, and trying to fulfill what the Navy needs, and but for me to see that he got recognized for that, it really is a great success for me that to be his rank.
Yeah, that's fantastic to see the folks that are in your organization flourish. It's really, really satisfying. Yeah.
Sure.
So, Master Chief, how have the unique characteristics of the Bay Area influenced your strategies in recruiting here at NTAG Golden Gate?
Good question, Chief. So it's funny. I've been a lot of different NTAGs, New York, Miami. Certain geographical areas are a little different wherever you go, but here in the Bay is a little unique because the Bay, you have Silicon Valley, so that's a different type of recruitment right there. Sacramento is a little bit more America, like America. So, that takes, a different type of strategy, right? And then we have the Valley, which is full of dreamers, domestic type workers, and kids that really want an opportunity, need that opportunity. So I try to just place the recruiters that I feel that have a natural fit for those areas. I try to place them to where they could be successful, and that was kind of, a little bit of a game-changing strategy for me, trying to utilize all my talent. So
Yeah,
That's
really smart. 3D chess. Really.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, ABH1, I asked Master Chief this question previously. Out of all the new initiatives that have come out, which one do you feel has impacted you the most?
For us, Chief, I really do feel like the the medical waiver process, Chief.
We are.
Yes, sir. And no, thank you for that. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
a lot of that right there, sir, just really streamlined, the recruiting process for, our recruitment numbers. And, it's, it allowed us as recruiters to do more things with our time, because we know that, hey, as soon as, I see this applicant, and when they say that, okay, this is going to be a CPS request, and it's just the process was a lot more easier, and it helped out in our production numbers.
Yeah, that's really great feedback. And it's on my mind all the time that decision speed matters, right? Even if it comes back a no, we can move on.
Yes, sir.
We're not holding on to people, having to spend time cultivating their interest while we wait for an answer from on high. We just have a system now that allows us to thoroughly review the medical record and make a decision.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I appreciate that feedback, because I think, you and your brothers and sisters that are out on the line are on my mind whenever I'm looking at medical waivers, which is every day,
Yes, sir.
because I want those answers to get back.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Mass Chief, it's no secret Golden Gate is doing some phenomenal things. What's the plan for long-term sustainability?
The plan. I always like to build from the ground up, so meaning that I'm always looking for the next recruiter that has that talent that's going to be my next rank, right? The next rank that's going to have that talent to maybe convert to CRF, that's going to be that next DLCPO, and so on to the ACR, to my, to replace me. So I'm always looking from building from the ground up. A lot of times everything comes from top down, but sometimes things come from bottom up too.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. I mean, that's why the recruiter's the number one priority,
Yes, sir.
right? We can manage excellently.
Mhm.
If the recruiters aren't recruiting, we're managing nothing.
Yes, sir.
And so I really appreciate what you said, really scouting talent. And the fleet is sending us some incredible talent, across the nation.
Yes, sir.
A real cross-section of the entire United States Navy. And so figuring out your comments before about placing talent, sort of that 3D chess, and then watching them and cultivating them and looking for the right ones that are going to take the next step. Because recruiting is one thing, supervising recruiters is another. Because one of the things we talked about earlier is, I see the recruiters as the weapon system, right? Prospecting, building trust-based relationships, and closing. The rank and the DLCPO are the guidance system for that weapon system, right? They're looking at the list, figuring out, are we in the right zip codes, are we in the schools enough,
Yes, sir.
aiming the weapon system so that we get the maximum effect.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that's really good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ABH1, you're doing amazing in recruiting. What's the next major milestone you want to achieve in recruiting?
For me, Chief, the next major milestone would be hopefully I get to put on khaki, Chief.
Yeah.
That right there, sir, it would mean a lot to me and the family. That right there, and finish my time in recruiting. That would be the plan.
And make mission, yeah.
And keep making mission.
I should rephrase that. I should keep making mission, because it should not come as any surprise that you are making mission consistently. So
Yes, sir.
it's really good.
Love it. As we get prepared to close out episode 21, Master Chief, where do you see NTAG Golden Gate in the next 12 to 24 months?
Next 12 to 24 months. Okay. Because the command is always changing. Obviously, your best sometimes leave, and then you get new people in coming, right? So you got to always consistently train and keep that same plan, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because, as you lose talent, you got to grow talent, So in the next 12 to 24 months, I see it's definitely been an NTAG to beat. Yeah. NTAG of the nation, that's coming soon. So.
NTAG of the nation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
I love
sir.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you guys are definitely putting on a show.
Trying to, sir.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
Sir, closing remarks?
Yeah, this has been a great conversation. Thanks for being here with us to talk about your experiences and being so open to just having a conversation about what's led to your successes here in NTAG Golden Gate. Because it is clear that your work has paid off. Your work has paid off, and you know the NTAG as a whole made mission last week for the year,
Yes, sir.
and so you're just running up the score now.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
As we work to make mission as a nation, right?
Yes, sir.
So great work.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Yes.
sir.
Recruiter Nation, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 21 of Uncharted Waters with the one, the only, the architect of success, the people's champ, Admiral James Waters. Chief Totemay, out.